Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Jeff again. Hey, we got a new project today. We've got a 458 Spider here. We worked on this a few times. We're going to do some stuff to it. We're going to change the spark plugs and put a new battery in it and a battery monitor and a few other little things. He wants to take the instrument cluster out, and he's got some issues with that, and we got to do some checks on that. So we're going to go ahead and do all those things at different times here. But I just want to let you know that parts here supplied by Fur Parts. We've got some coils here, backup coils we bought just in case we have an issue. These are supplied by Fur Parts. If you got any issues, call Fur Parts for all Ferrari, Maserati, Lamborghini. Like I said, we're going to open this up here soon and get access to the spark plugs and the coils and that. So we're going to do a compression test also on this. And like I said, we're going to do a few things. I'm probably forgetting a few things, but anyway, why don't you watch and see what happens. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to retract the top here, lower the windows, retract just the back top portion here. We're just going to retract this enough to get access to the panels behind. And then once we have that open up, we're going to disconnect the battery. They recommend disconnect the battery when you're messing around in there. So we're going to go ahead and do that. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get this retracted. All right, so we've got the top retracted. I've got the battery disconnected. The car is going to tell you that to complete a roof cycle, and you're probably going to set a few errors. So when we get done with this, we're probably going to have to reset some stuff, clear some codes and that. But so we've got the top retracted right now, and it exposes this cover here. So we're going to go ahead and take this cover off. Looks like it's got a bunch of fasteners here we'll have to remove. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and remove that and get started. All right, so these little fasteners here, it's a number 13 millimeter. So we're going to remove all these all the way around. All right, so that's a 13. All right, so we've got this mat removed. As I said, these little plastic fasteners, I got them in a bag here. And then now we're going to remove all these fasteners around the perimeter here. And then we'll have to move this out of the way. I'm not going to remove this. I'm just going to leave it there. Remove those fasteners, and this panel should come out at that time. So looks like these might be 10s. So we'll see. Also, you want to notate where this cable runs. It's fastened to this one right here. You see it's got a bracket, and it kind of goes through this. It's got a slot here. So you want to pay attention to that. Probably going to have to remove a portion of the seal. Looks like the seal gets removed right here. It splits. So this is probably going to come with that panel right there. All right. So same thing on the other side. That same fastener has a cable attached to this panel. So just pay attention where that's located. And looks like there might be a couple down here also. I see one up in the front up there that is attached. So there's one right here that's attached in the front left corner. And then, like I said, this one right here. And then, like I said, we'll have to guide these cables through here. And then this, like I said, this comes loose right here. So, all right. All right, so it does make it easier if you take this front cover off also. Because this bottom piece keeps on catching on it. And then when you got to raise this up, it just, you know, makes it, the clearance is a lot greater. So I removed that. It's held on. It's got two fasteners here, two here, two here. And obviously it catches on the other panel. Same plastic fasteners. I'll take the 13 millimeter as the other black piece on the bottom. So we're going to take that off, like I said, and then probably remove this other little protector or cover over here. So probably gonna have to take this off too, just to get more clearance. So this looks like this Velcro's on here. All right. So let's move this out of the way, and then that should give us the clearance we need. So, all right. Also, when you're moving this forward, you just kind of want to push this through, and we'll have to get it back through later on, but kind of push that seal back through, and then this cable should come slide through here like that. Okay. So that's ready to go. Same thing on the other side, and like I said, we just got to hold this up, raise the panel up, and pull that out of there. All right, I've got the panel removed. I put this back on the wall. You can see your fuel pumps here. It exposes your fuel pump. And then here's your rubber grommets I just moved. And you kind of move this cable around. It's got enough slack in it. You should be able to move that to the sides. There are your coils down in there. And then, like I said, there's your other fuel pump over there. Let's go around here. Like I said, there's the panel that I removed just now. So like here's this other cable we had to reposition to get out of there. And then there's your fuel pump on the right hand side here. And then you can see, let me get a light here. All right. All right. Now you can see the coils down there. All right. So they look like they might be a little bit of a pain. So we'll try to get those out as easily as possible and proceed on. But anyway, let's go on. All right, so on this here, this is cylinder number 4, 3. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4, okay? So to remove these, you have to retract the yellow piece, okay? So I get my little awl in there, and I just slid it back, okay? So you slide it in like that. I just got it in this little groove here, pulled it back, okay? So once you have that pulled back, you should be able to depress this here and then release it. Same thing on this one here, okay? So you just get that in there. Be careful, these get brittle over time because of the heat. So don't go pull too crazy. All right, so that's it right there. That's how you do that. So I'm gonna have to put the phone down and stick my hand in there, pull the plug off, I would think. So push that down. Let's try it. There it is. All right, that's how you release them. All right, and then you'll have to twist the coil, and hopefully it comes out without any issues. And I can see there's some clearance issues with that tube there, emissions tube. We'll see. Hopefully it won't give us a problem, but we're going to go ahead and take these out. All right, so we've got all the plug wires removed. As you can see on both sides here, this is the passenger side, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to the other side here. All right, then you have from the back forward 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, so 8's towards the right behind the driver here. So now we're going to go ahead and try to remove the coils themselves. All right, so you kind of got to twist them and pull at the same time. Looks like I said there's going to be some clearance issues maybe. We'll see. All right, one side down, another side to go. What a pain in the ass. Those are in there, and they're not easy to get to. So, yeah, you almost need something to help pry up on them. I actually end up using a little bit of I took an Allen wrench and kind of got underneath there, and while I was pulling, it kind of helped me get enough leverage to get underneath there and pop them. You get something else similar to that, but yeah, not the easiest thing to get out of there. And then once you do get them out of there, there are some clearance issues with some of the items around it. So you got to watch that. But I'm going to go ahead and do the other side and get those out. All right, we finally got all 8 coils out. So now we're going to remove the plugs. Hopefully they're not going to be as difficult, but those were a pain in the butt. Yeah, those were a pain. So hopefully none of these got destroyed internally getting removed, because these boots were on there, and man, it was a pain. So we're going to go ahead and take the plugs out and proceed on. All right, we've got one side of the plugs removed. This is the driver's side. I mean, they don't look too bad. They all look the same. I don't see any issues at this point, but we're going to go ahead and remove the other side and see what happens. All right, we've got all the plugs removed finally. They all look the same. I would say they're all pretty normal. The only one I've got a question about is this one here, number 2. It has a little bit of oil on it. So we're going to do a compression check, but as you can see, it's a little wet. So he did say that he had an oil sample done when we were here last. He did take an oil sample, and he had the results returned to him, and it said it had 2% contamination with fuel. So, I mean, 2% doesn't sound like a lot, but I think that's the max at your limit before you start to need to investigate, believe it or not. So, like I said, we're going to do a compression test on this and see what we have for a compression test on that cylinder, or all the cylinders. But other than that, we have no check engine lights, car's running fine. That's the only thing that has a question. So, like I said, we're going to investigate and then probably do that next. All right, we're here. We're getting ready to start the compression test. We have this in cylinder number 1, bank 1, which is behind the passenger. So anyway, what we're going to do next is crank the motor over and see what we get here, and compare them all, and then see how they all do compared to each other. So we're going to do that here in a second. So we've got we did 1 through 4. We're getting 120 psi on all 4 of those cylinders. We're now on cylinder number 8 on bank 2. So Mark's going to go ahead and hit it.
Ready?
Yep. All right. It's about 120 again, so we're consistent. We're going to go to the next cylinder. Go ahead.
Here we go.
Oh. Cylinder number 7 showing about 110 psi. All right. This is cylinder number 6. Cylinder number 6.
Ready?
Yep, go ahead. Yeah, we're like right at 120. All right, this is cylinder number 5.
Ready?
Yep. All right, it's about 110 again. So cylinder number 5 is about 110. Now, take for granted this is being done cold. If this was hot, the cylinder numbers would be higher. You had to take that. So like I said, compression, the cylinder would be tighter and everything, but man, there's a lot of work here to get to this thing when it's hot. So, and it's been sitting here all night. So, you know, the compressions should be higher than 120 is what we're getting, or what we're reading to see. That's about an average. So, this is not too far off. Hopefully, we're going to do some more research on this. We're going to re-verify number 7 again, just because that one was showing 110, but we're going to re-verify that. So go ahead, Mark. Yeah, we're about the same. we're about 110 again. So it's pretty consistent. So I think that what everybody's saying, it should be 7 bar is normal for the 458, which 7 bar comes out to be a little over
101.
about 101. So if that is the case, which we're going to verify that, all these cylinders are good, but they seem low compared to other stuff that we've done compression. My 360, I believe it was around 200, but it's a different car. So we're going to go ahead and verify the 7 bar. If the 7 bar is correct, I mean, this is good. So we're going to double check. All right, so we did a compression test on all the cylinders. I didn't show all of them, but 1, 2, 3, and 4 on this side all had 120 psi, or roughly 120. I think one had 122, that's pretty negligible difference. On the other side, cylinder number 5, I believe, had 120. 6 had 110. 7 had
7 had 110 also.
7 had 110. 8 120ish.
Yeah.
So
Actually, number 4 was 122.
Number 4 was 122. So those should be within, in the tolerance of air. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. The only concern I've got is the one plug had a little oil on it, but that was cylinder number 2, which was showing 120 psi.
That's right.
So, I mean, it has no compression issue on that cylinder. And the 2 plugs that were on the ones that were showing 110, they were fine. Matter of fact, those were these here. I don't see any kind of oil on those at all. So I have no concern with those. So we're going to go ahead and reinstall the new plugs we have and put some lubricant on it and torque them up and reinstall the coils in that. All right, so we've got our plugs all out here. We're using an NGK MR8AP8HJS. Okay, that's the plug that we're using, like NGK. That was the original also, OEM. I've put some spark plug lube on these. It's made by Champion. So it's a thread lubricant. The only thing is you got to watch when you do that. You don't want to get on an electrode because it could cause fouling of the plug. So we're going to go ahead, reinstall the plugs. It says it's 11 Newton meters. What did you figure out what the 11 Newton meters is?
It's like 97 inch pounds.
97 inch pounds.
I'll do your foot pounds in a second.
So he's going to figure out
it's 8 foot pounds.
8 foot pounds. So 97 inch pounds. So are 11 Newton meters. So we're going to go ahead and stick these back in, reinstall the coils, which should be easier going in. We're going to put a little dielectric on the end of the plugs. All right. And then maybe put some silicone or something on the boots here just to keep it from sticking also. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and put the plugs in first before we do anything else. So we've got our plugs in on the passenger side here, torqued to 11 Newton meters or 97 inch pounds. We're currently installing the plugs on the driver's side. Well, Mark is. So he's still doing that.
He's slow.
Yeah, he's slow. So we'll continue doing that, and then once that's done, we'll be putting the coils in. All right, so we've got all our coils in, our plugs pushed in. Make sure they snapped, and then you put your safety back in on all sides. At this point, we're going to go ahead and start it up and see how she runs. Go from there. Hopefully, we have no issues. I'm just kind of, the only thing I was worried about is when I pulled the coils out that we didn't damage any of them internally. We did test a few of them when they were out. They all tested good, the ones we tested. So we're going to go ahead and fire it up, make sure we have nothing going on. All right, started right up. No issues as of yet. Okay, check engine light went off, he said, so that's good. The only thing we're having now is we'll have a roof cycle that's not complete, but we have that because of the top that's open. So we're going to have to reset that here momentarily, but we've got a TPMS problem, but that wasn't due to anything we did. So that's something we're looking into also. But anyway, all the plugs and coils have been changed. Well, coils are all back, the originals. So we're good. We're all good here. See no issues with this. So we're going to go ahead and see what else we got going on. I don't know if we're going to put this back together right now. We'll have to look to see what we got going on. If we have nothing else going on in here, we're going to go ahead and put this back together. But we'll catch you in a few here. All right, we're going to conclude this video for today and leave this off because, like I said, he's wanting us to change the rod ends on these little balance, like a plenum balance chamber valves. I don't know what you really call those without looking in the manual. But because I guess they give them a fault saying they stick or whatever. I'm not sure if he's really wanting to do that at this time. I mean, I can't just change those without taking the intake off. We're going to try to lube them. So we're going to leave this open for right now. If he's wanting us to follow through with this, take this off, we're going to have to take the top off here, take this cross member out, and proceed through that. I'm not sure if he's wanting to do that, but I think he was just figuring we could probably reach in there and change this, but that's not happening unless you take the intake off. And then we'd have to get the gaskets and everything. So it's a bigger job than what I think he's expecting. So anyway, we're going to conclude the spark plug change and coil reinstallation. We did the compression test. So we got other things going on. We'll make other videos on that. Just stay tuned and keep watching. So next time, catch you next time.